Dito sa impeachment na ongoing, the first week has been on the fourth article of impeachment. I think much of the confusion arises from the lack of standardization. So hindi ka agad nagkaroon ng parameters. It should have been the defense should have insinuated already the parameters kasi sila yung dapat magko-contain ng presentation ng prosecution. And of course, ang prosecution would insist on a wider latitude rather than a narrower one. But I think it's necessary na magkaroon muna ng consensus ang mga tao kung ano ba talaga yung Article 4 and ano yung standards. Otherwise, magkakaroon talaga ng parating debate kung sino nakalamang, sino hindi nakalamang, and so on.
Topic of the week is impeachment. Since your discipline is not only law but public international law, that's why we invited you here so that we get a different perspective from another expert in her field. Dito po ba sa first presentation ng first witnesses ng prosecution, itong mga NBI agents, how effective do you think itong mga naging witness nila in terms of proving na yung mga sinabi ni VP Sara na habang galit siya ay they fall under the grounds in their articles of impeachment. Doc Melissa?
Yeah. Thank you. I studied impeachment also in my work as a comparative constitutional law researcher and published certain articles on that question. And so in this case, magtatagalog po ba or magbibisaya or
pwede man mix lang Tagalog and English kasi ang audience natin.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So dito sa impeachment na ongoing, the first week has been on the fourth article of impeachment. I think much of the confusion arises from the lack of standardization. So hindi ka agad nagkaroon ng parameters. It should have been the defense should have insinuated already the parameters kasi sila yung dapat magko-contain ng presentation ng prosecution. And of course, ang prosecution would insist on a wider latitude rather than a narrower one. But I think it's necessary na magkaroon muna ng consensus ang mga tao kung ano ba talaga yung Article 4 and ano yung standards. Otherwise, magkakaroon talaga ng parating debate kung sino nakalamang, sino hindi nakalamang, and so on.
Remind us, Doc Melissa, ano nga yung Article 4 ng Articles of Impeachment? Anong grounds po yun?
Based on sa Article 4 nakalagay, the grounds is culpable violation of the Constitution, high crimes, and betrayal of public trust.
High crimes? Alam ko may high crimes lang doon sa England kasi may hari doon So, specifically, ano pong evidence nila na sinasite sa Articles of Impeachment under these grounds, including high crimes and betrayal of public trust? Alin po doon?
Yung constituent acts niya are yung pagkocontract ng assassin, yung grave threats against the president, the first lady, and the speaker, former speaker, and then inciting to sedition. So far, I think na-cover nila yung tatlong constituent crimes na yun on the basis of secondary testimony from the NBI. So let me just explain na pag culpable violation of Constitution, of course, dapat meron isang constitutional provision na nilalabag. And that this would be possible. So, parang kasi nagkakaroon ng disconnect between the article, the grounds, and the constituent acts. Kasi, for instance, culpable violation, hindi naman siya pwede sa grave threat, hindi naman siya pwede sa inciting. Kasi In fact, protected speech nasa Constitution. It could fall under contracting if it is established, for instance, na merong attempt to destroy the constitutional succession. Tapos pwede ganon.
Attempt to kill BBM.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be a very
VP
difficult.
Sara will succeed, di ba? Yan.
So hindi lang yung nag-contract ka na assassin. In addition to that, dapat ipuproof mo na yung purpose is to break the constitutional succession.
No, that becomes a culpable violation of the Constitution.
Pagdating naman sa high crimes, medyo mataas na masyado to na standard. Hindi na siya masasakop yung mga grave threat lang, hindi na siya sasakop yung mga inciting.
Nung panahon pa yata yan ni yung high crimes na yan, baka panahon pa yan ni King Henry VIII.
Oo. Oo.
Yung
Pero
mga
existing siya sa.
mahirap yung sinasabi nila na kasi minura, sabi ng agent kasi minura-mura niya ang presidente. Yun. Kaya siguro may gigil na gigil dyan. Pwede murahin ko po si BBM, hindi naman po yun high crime. Hindi naman po yung treason kung murahin ko siya, di ba? Sabihin ko, sabi ng kapatid mo, bangag ka. Hindi naman yun culpable violation of the Constitution or a high crime. Kasi in the Philippines, wala naman pong definition at example ng high crimes. Kaya po masyado na pong mataas itong kumbaga ay suntok na po sa buwan nito. Itong high crime. So, kaya pinipilit nila yung grave threats. Hindi po ba, Doc Melissa?
Yes, yes. So just to make sure na maano yung high crime. For instance, high crime, kung nagnakaw ka nag-corrupt ka ng trillions, yon high crimes yon. Whereas mag-corrupt ka ng millions.
Corruption, 1.9 trillion, high crime. That's
high crime talaga yon. So, yung mga millions lang, medyo hindi na siguro. It could just be ordinary
bakit daw nila
corruption.
nilagay ang grave threat sa high crime at betrayal of public trust?
I think ito lang yung merong at least pwede mag-testify na tapos nakikita ng tao kasi na-publish na yung video. I think ito yung pinaka-reason kung bakit nila siningit yung grave threat. But grave threat itself, hindi siya magko-qualify under betrayal, hindi siya magko-qualify under high crimes, culpable. So let us look at betrayal. Wala tayong standard. Titingin tayo, comparative constitutional law, titingin tayo sa Korea. Sa Korea,
Doc. Example, yung sabi mo, Korea, betrayal of public trust. Ano po yung example?
Yes. Yung si President Yoon, betrayal of public trust dahil nag-declare siya ng martial law at nag-deploy siya ng military na in violation ng constitutional procedure nila.
Hindi approved ng Congress.
Opo. Na-convict siya ng Constitutional Court ng Korea. Wala kasi silang impeachment court. Ito naman next, si Park, extortion and ginamit ng ang office na is private individual to govern Korea. So yun, talagang betrayal of public trust. In all other cases, walang gumagamit ng betrayal of public trust. So in this case, tayo lang at saka Korea ang gumagamit. So Korea could be a useful standard as far as the judges would be concerned in terms of weighing the evidence and so on. Now, sa ating case, there was an attempt, dalawang cases, yung Gonzales versus Office of the President and then Ignacio versus Sulit. Doon, diniscuss yung dismissal ng Deputy Ombudsman on the ground of gross neglect of duty, grave misconduct, constituting betrayal of public trust. So, ganun din kataas ang ginamit na standard, gross neglect of duty, grave misconduct.
Kasi I think they're connecting it also, Doc, to the principle of public office is a public trust. So that's why yung betrayal of public trust doon sa Sulit is yung
grave misconduct.
in other words yung duties niya, no? Di ba?
Yes. Yes.
Yun ba allegation doon na meron siyang gross neglect ng duty niya?
Yes.
Yes. So,
So,
kaya betrayal of public trust. Di ba?
Yes.
Because that is his public office. It requires a
Right.
high standard of trust. Di ba?
So at least meron na tayong masasabing measure kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng betrayal of public trust. Although, in this case, hindi impeachment. But then we have to remember na yung case na to stemmed from an interpretation of Republic Act 6770 na nagkalagay doon na with respect to the deputy ombudsman, etc., they can be dismissed on the same grounds as the dismissal of the ombudsman but with due process. So, in effect, ini-interpret na ng decisions ng OP and the ombudsman in these dismissal cases kung ano ibig sabihin ng the betrayal of public trust.
What about the case of Gonzales?
The same with Gonzales, ganun din. Actually, yung core issue dun was whether may jurisdiction yung president to dismiss the deputy ombudsman. But that's beside the point. Kasi yung dismissal there was based on the finding of gross neglect of duty and misconduct constituting betrayal of public trust. So yun yung phraseology.
Okay, so that's that's a very good example of a standard that is now in our jurisprudence, di ba?
Yes, that's correct.
I think in the offer of evidence of the prosecutor, he was not very clear what the testimony of these two NBI agents were for, di ba? And then when the defense counsel was objecting to these testimonies, sabi niya, you cannot object at this point. You can object only in the offer of exhibits. But let's talk about the procedure another day. Another time. We'll focus on what is the standard now of, you've discussed the standard by using examples, right? In Korea, and using examples in Sulit and Gonzales. So, it's not that easy. Na sinabi mo, pinagbantaan niya na ipapatay niya ang presidente is already betrayal of public trust. Hindi ba? Unless sinasabi ni Doc Melissa na yung meron talagang katibayan na may attempt na ipapatay siya, si BBM, para what do you call this, yung capture yung succession under the Constitution para si BP Sara ang maging presidente. Yun ang matindi. Pero ang sabi kasi ng NBI agent, belief lang nila. Belief. Ang dami palang superstitious belief itong attorney Lutok na ito. Belief daw niya na nag-hire ng assassin. Pero sinabi naman niya na, but I have no personal knowledge. Kasi tinatanong sila on cross sino ang assassin? Sino ang assassin? May assassin ba? Meron bang assassin? Sabi niya, it is my belief na meron.
Can I ask something also, Mother?
Go ahead, Cathy.
Kasi ang sinabi, ang pagkakarinig ko, I was there in that Zoom. Okay? Ang pagkakarinig ko kasi na sinabi ni Vice President Sara Duterte is, wag ho kayong mag-alala, may kinausap po ako. Kung sakali or if may mangyari sa akin.
Kung ipapatay nila ako.
Wala siyang sinabi na wag ko kayo mag-alala, nag-hire ako ng assassin. So, ano nun? Kasi ang lumalabas po dito sa yung NBI na nagsalita, si Lotok ba yun? Lotok. Sinasabi niya na, nag-a-assume siya na may kinausap na assassin.
Belief lang daw niya. Belief lang naman daw niya.
So, akong tingin ko kasi dito, parang talagang sinasike nila yung mamayang Pilipino.
Yung hindi naman sinabing ganun, tapos sabihin nyo, you believe there was an assassin. Hindi naman pwede ang belief mo. Ang tinatanong dyan, it's already, that question should have been objected to. Sa tingin mo, meron bang assassin? Ano sa tingin mo? Ang dapat ang tanong meron ba talagang assassin? Yun naman ang tinanong ng Cruz
O hindi
Sabi
pwedeng
niya,
paniniwala mo lang,
Oo.
dapat ebidensya mismo.
Tama. Kasi hindi naman expert opinion ka sa sakit. For example, sa diverticulitis, di ba?
Lalo.
Kasi kung doktor ka, expert ka talaga na gastro, sasabihin mo talaga, what do you think, doctor? What do you think? Kasi expert siya sa diverticulitis, di ba? Ito, assassin, pinag-usapan natin, tinanong siya. Sabi niya, belief ko lang. Belief ko lang. May bago na naman tayo, Kati. Belief ko lang na may assassin. Pero wala po naman ako talagang alam na personal na knowledge kung talaga bang may assassin. Yan. So, klaro mga kababayan na walang assassin. Sinasabi ni Doc Wilisa dito na dapat ang standard is na may attempt ba on the life of BBM, and the First Lady and the former Speaker para maagaw niya ang succession under the Constitution. Diba? So, nakukonect sa Constitution. Hindi lang yung galit kayo kasi yung bossing nyo ay pinagbantaan at minura-mura. Okay? So, Doc Melissa, what else can you please add to these standards of evidence?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, parang may disconnect between the articles, the grounds for impeachment, and the constituent acts. So with respect to grave threat, for instance, ang sabi ng NBI, and I was medyo na-bother ako dun sa sinabi niya na conditional kasama na. When in fact, yung sa provision ng RPC nakalagay, conditional kung may nag-demand ng money and may other demands and na-fulfill yung condition. That's when it becomes punishable. But in this case, wala. Nakalagay express provision. Kasi sinabi niya na there is no such thing as there is no distinction. Actually, napakalaking distinction, and this was the case of Calleja versus the Executive Secretary, yung tungkol sa terrorism.
Yes, go ahead.
Nakalagay kasi Section 5 ng terrorism law na merong threat of terrorism. So, question yon yung constitutionality. And the Supreme Court looked at the provision and said, kung conditional yung threat, hindi siya sasama. Hindi siya punishable. And then, it cited U.S. versus Watts. Ito yung case in 1969 na may isang draft.
That the threat was, in other words, hindi siya direct. Kasi may condition. May condition. Oo. So,
hindi siya.
Yun din ang opinion ni Juan Ponce Enrile when he was Senate President. I saw that clip. So, Dr. Loja now is citing an American U.S. case, Doc. What case is that?
Yeah, this is not just the U.S. case. It is the Philippine Supreme Court citing the U.S. case to decide a question of constitutionality of Section 5 on threat of terrorism.
Okay,
So, sabi ng
Calleja
Supreme Court,
versus...
Calleja versus Executive Secretary.
Okay,
Ito yung,
lawyers can research that. Calleja versus Executive Secretary citing a U.S. case of Watts.
U.S. versus Watts. In that case,
U.S.
diba,
versus Watts. Okay.
Ito yung context nito, yung Vietnam War, and yung di ba nagre-rebel yung mga draftee. And ito si Watts, ang sabi niya, now that I have already received my draft classification, etc., and I have to report for my physical this Monday, I'm not going. If they ever make me carry a rifle, the first man I want to get in my sights is LBJ. Ito si Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson, the president.
Yes.
Okay.
So
was it protected speech? Was it freedom of speech, or was it a grave
yes,
threat?
it was protected speech.
The Philippines, this U.S. In that Watson case, ruled that it was protected speech.
Yes.
Correct.
So, umakyat all the way to the Supreme Court. Ang sinabi lang ng Supreme Court is, this is a kind of a very crude, offensive method of stating political opposition to the president. So, no different from the way that Sara Duterte expressed her opinion.
And, yes.
in this particular case, kay Sara Duterte, we have to take into account the fact na for her, merong threat sa kanya coming from a person believed to be suffering from drug addiction. So if kahit sino namang tao receiving a threat from a person who has drug addiction, so in quotation marks, talagang hindi yung threat sa'yo, di ba? Kasi irrational na yun.
Hindi na yun biro. Di ba?
Yes,
Kasi
irrational na yun.
addict siya eh. Oh.
So therefore, your reaction na sasabihin mo pag if you get me killed, I will have a reprisal. Ano talaga in that context na yung threat is coming from a person believed to be or rumored to be suffering from drug addiction. And therefore, your reaction would have to be calibrated according to that type of threat.
Plus,
and remember,
yes, go ahead, Doc.
remember, a reaction to a threat does not necessarily have to be a counter threat. It can also be a warning. At the same time, it could also be, and this is something really important, a deterrent. For instance, kung merong nag-aim sa'yo, and then you just show your holster, show lang, hindi mo tinanggal yung rifle mo or anything, pinakita mo lang, just to deter the other person, the other threat, from stepping back.
Warning,
or
ika nga.
stepping down. Oo. Hindi lang siya warning. Talagang parang you stop the threat. Hindi ka nag-escalate. You just want them to de-escalate. And that particular exchange could be interpreted that way na stop threatening me. I feel threatened by someone who is drug addicted and therefore irrational, etc., etc.
In other words, it is in her defense that she uttered those remarks.
Not just defense, but to de-escalate the threat
so
between the two of them.
That was a defensive remark and to de-escalate, right? Also that prior to that, yung mga incident doon is yung, di ba, pinakontempt si Yusek niya, si Attorney
Zuleika
Lopez, no?
Yes po.
Oh.
Opo.
At pinapatransfer pa ng House of ng mga congressman dyan doon sa women's jail.
Opo, nandun din po ako. Pumunta po ako doon.
Di ba
sa
pinatayan
veterans.
yun ng ano? Ng
Opo,
ilaw?
ng ilaw, dun sa HOR, while naka-live kami, all of us.
Oo.
Then, nagkaroon po ng panic attack
Oo.
si Attorney Zuleika Lopez kasi ang nararamdaman niya, she was being harassed.
Plus,
Tas gusto
papasok siya sa jail
at saka in the middle of the night, gabing-gabi,
Oo.
sinabihan siya na ililipat siya sa kulungan.
Tapos
Na
pinatayan
hindi na
ng
wala
ilaw.
naman siyang krimen
Oo.
and she is a lawyer. She knows
She
her right.
answered naman,
Yeah.
di ba?
Yes.
Kaya lang, ayaw nila ng answer niya.
Ayaw nila. At
Oo.
saka, nung dinala siya veterans, nandun po ako, nakita ko na talagang even si VP Sara, iipitin ng, marami po kami doon, iipitin ng ambulansya. May videos po kami nun.
Grabe. So that's why in Philippine decision naman, Doc Melissa, doon sa Israel versus people of the Philippines, the Supreme Court cited there that an emotional outburst is not a grave threat. Not every threat is real, di ba? Not every threat is real, di ba? Sinasabi mo nga, it was to de-escalate. Sa akin, it was a defense. And then the Supreme Court said in Israel versus people of the Philippines na emotional outburst, may mga prior incidents, di ba? Kaya ako ang thinking ko dyan, kaya inatrust nila yung hostile witness nila si Attorney Lopez eh. Di ba? Sabi nila yung hostile witness, lagay nila sa stand. Kasi talagang ididiin nila, ipapaaminin nila. Which they forget that she's a lawyer, you know?
Yeah.
And you cannot just easily trick lawyers, you know, into admitting anything. So I think na-realize nila yun na that's going to establish now that there was a prior incident. Kaya si VP Sara emotional outburst, di ba? Aside from, yung sinasabi nga ni VP Sara na dati niya nang naririnig na naririnig niya na ipapatay sila. Yung sinasabi niya na uubusin sila yung pamilya niya.
Meron pang isa mother na statement si Attorney Lotok na hindi ko nagustuhan. Kahit naman sino makarinig nito. Based on the rule of law, hindi po ako abogado, pero hindi naman din po ako tanga. na hindi maintindihan. Nung sinabi niya na, nung tinanong siya na, I forgot lang kung paano yung pagtanong, pero ang pagkakaintindi ko, yung pagtatanong is, paano mo nasabi na may kakayahan si VP Sara na patayin or pumatay?
Oo, dahil daw, ang tatay niya
ang tatay
si Digong.
niya is si PRRD na may kaso sa ICC, which is, number one, speculate ka na nun.
Oo.
Di po ba?
Tsaka, dahil ba yung tatay niya ay akusado ng EJK sa ICC, siya may kakakayahan na magpapatay ng tao? Di ba
Opo.
parang, itatapon niya lang yung lahat niya yan, pati mga anak niya maliliit, tatapon niya yung future nila para ipapatay niya yan si BBM? Parang, tsaka lawyer yan eh, di ba? Lawyer din naman si VP Sara eh. Parang, obviously, itong agents na ito na nagte-testify, they're not testifying as impartial, credible witnesses. Kaya lalo na, di ba, Cathy, discover. Talagang diniinan siya doon ni Senator Amy Marcos na sa 2 dokumento, sa subpoena mo at sa affidavit mo na notaryado, sinabi mo, yung petsa ng November 6 ba
Yeah,
yun?
magkamali.
Ang
daming typo error.
Yun pala, hindi naman pala, ibig mo sabihin, yung subpoena mo sa, ABS-CBN for that video is weeks after. Sabi niya, typographical error lang daw. Sabi ni Senator Escudero, typographical, 2 dokumento?
At hindi mo ba binabasa? Affidavit mo yan.
At saka, abogado siya di ba? At saka notaryado yun di ba? Ibig sabihin yan, talagang, hindi siya credible. So, isa pa, inamin nila, Cathy, di ba? Yung isa umamin. Yung isang hindi abogado. Sinabi niya na may utos po from the top. Ayun.
Exactly. Yun na
So,
yun.
etong 2 testigo nila, testigo sila ng testigo sa grave threat na hindi naman nila nakukonek sa culpable violation of the Constitution. I don't know why the defense counsel did not ask that question. How is it now, if you're saying that this is grave threat, tinanong pa siya, is this conditional or absolute? Tinanong siya ni Senator Cayetano, sabi niya, in my opinion, it is absolute. No! Ang lakas ng loob mo, Hindi ka na mga abogado, Nag-opinion ka ng interpretation ng batas, Yan ang ayaw ko sa iyo,
I can't wait nga kasi hiningi si ano ba yon? Si Senator Robin naghingi ng mga certification courses na tinapos niya. Kasi, mamabing meron kasing LEVA na tinatawag, Law Enforcement Video Association Certification, pagtapos ng kurso para maging isang Certified Forensic Video Analyst or CFVA, Certified Forensic Video Examiner, CFVE. Ito ang pandaigdigang pamantayan sa Forensic Video Authentication, IACIS certification, pagiging Certified Forensic
Nag-seminar ba siya
Computer.
dyan?
Hindi ko nga alam kaya ito na binabang examiner CFCE or EC Council, pagkakaroon ng titulong. Mali yun. Pagkakaroon ng titulong Computer Hacking Forensic Investigator, CHFI.
Di ba NBA agents, they are required to be accountants? And or lawyers.
Yes. At saka dapat, kung forensic expert ka, may kurso ka kasing tinitake dyan.
Correct. Hindi naman yung 2 linggo, 2 buwan
Opo,
lang,
hindi
expert
pwedeng
ka na.
ganon. Opo.
Pambira naman, Di ba? Anybody naman na reasonable mind will not believe na expert yun. Lalo na sabihin ba naman yun, absolute threat. Sa totoo lang, hindi ka lawyer, huwag kang bibigay-bigay ng legal opinion dyan, NBI agent. Kaya, nahihirapan po ang prosecution na magtahi-tahi nung testimony nitong 2 NBI agent na ito doon sa kanilang grounds for impeachment under Article 4 of their Articles of Impeachment.
At saka, Mother, yung kitang-kita mo parang kahapon, talagang fishing expedition. I thought, di ba sabi nila na isampa nila tong kaso na to kasi sufficient in ground and substance. Pero bakit naghahanap pa rin sila habang ginagawa ang impeachment trial na to, bakit nila gustong maghanap pa ng ibang ebidensya while nag-hearing na?
Parang Yun na nga, na, yung sinabi, di ba? Typographical error ba yan na yung subpoena mo, ganitong pitsa, pero actually, yung hiningi mo palang video, 2 weeks after. Di ba? Parang, ibig sabihin, basta nagsisinungaling ho, talaga ho mahuhuli
Kakamali.
sa bunganga at sa papel. Kaya,
Pag hindi galing sa'yo talaga.
yes, good job! Good job, Senator Manang Amy Marcos, my classmate in evidence.
Diba?
Sabi ko sa inyo huwag kayong mag-akala nyo, mabubola nyo yung mga yan. Yung problema dyan kasi, Kati, sa ibang senador, tatanong sila, yung mga tanong nila loaded. Kumbaga sa sugal, yung dice loaded.
Yeah,
Diba? Hindi na yun
correct.
mga legal na questions Yung mga, in what way is this betrayal of public trust? Ganun. Leading na di ba? Masyado ng leading At saka, Doc Melissa, I was talking about the standard of evidence in another interview of mine. And kasi, parang ang dali-dali lang for them na right now, I don't think the senators have an agreement as to the standard of evidence. And I was suggesting, my opinion, I was asked that it should be clear and convincing evidence. Although a little lower than proof beyond reasonable doubt, it is also above the evidence required in admin and civil law of substantial evidence only or preponderance of evidence only. I was emphasizing clear and convincing evidence. What do you think about this standard of evidence, Doc?
So, wala namang express yung constitution, pero if you place it on the ground, for instance, high crime, so the terminology itself dapat high crime, beyond reasonable doubt yon kasi high crime.
Oh, yes. Oo. High crimes.
Culpable,
Oo, kasi
Culpable violation.
mahirap naman yung bintang-bintangan mo ang tao. Hindi beyond reasonable doubt yung high crimes, di ba? Dati kasi an attempt on the life of the king was a high crime. It was also treason, di ba? The king of England. Also in Thailand, meron silang batas na ganun, lèse majesté.
Yeah.
Yung libak-libakin mo yung hari, patay, bitay ang parusa. O kaya, hindi sila pwedeng mag-touch ng any part of the body or clothing of the royal family. Di ba? Diyan sa Thailand, in Asia, I'm only citing Thailand. But I suppose, during the earlier time, yung emperor ng Japan, ganun din yun. May lèse majesté din yung Japan doon. So, dito naman sa atin, hindi naman po hari si BBM. Diba? Kahit na feeling niya, pero hindi siya hari. At saka sa England nga ngayon, may hari. Sa Denmark, may hari. Sa Espanya, may hari. Pero wala na pong lèse majesté. Yung batas na ang majesty ng hari o reyna ay protektado sa batas. Yan. So, high crimes, in the opinion of Doc Melissa Hoya Loha, should be proven by beyond reasonable doubt. What about the other allegations, Doc Melissa?
for culpable, I think okay na yung dapat clear and convincing.
Yes.
Yes,
Pero, in all these grounds, Doc Loha, hindi naman tama na preponderance of evidence lang? Kasi removal ito ng Vice President Diba?
Oh, no. Kasi
Dapat-
kung bawa betrayal of public trust admin law, clear and
Oo.
convincing din
Dapat clear and convincing evidence.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Yeah.
So,
Opo.
yung dalawang NBI agent, clear and convincing evidence ba yung testimony nila, Doc Loha?
I would my tendency is to split the two. Kung as to the clear, dapat based on yung record or the documentary object evidence and so on. Pagka-convincing naman based on the testimony, dun siya mag-fail kasi nga walang eye contact. And, di ba, kung ikaw may typo error sa NBI clearance mo, katakot-takot na
Ay, naku.
problema ang haharapin.
Oo. Kung kayo kaya typo error namin dyan. NBI. Tama si Doc. Kung may typo error nga dyan, yung mga pangalan, di ba? Di ba, Cathy? Yung pangalan mo, kunyari,
correct.
yung Cathy mo, naging K
Yeah.
instead of C. Oh.
Hindi, at
Aba,
saka-
yung bigla ka na lang may hit
Bang
ka
hold
sa
departure.
NBI, di ba? Hold
Oh.
departure
Yeah.
ka or what?
Correct.